My beloved child, stop scrolling and remain here for a moment, because what you are about to hear was not placed before you by accident. Something has been waiting to reach your heart, something your future life partner has been unable to express through ordinary words. Before this message disappears beneath the noise of another day, pause. Breathe slowly. Let the walls around your heart become quiet, because heaven is drawing your attention to a connection that has already begun moving toward you, even though you cannot yet see the entire path. There is a soul somewhere beneath the same sky who feels an unexplainable pull toward the life they are meant to build with you, and tonight their spirit is pleading, "Please do not walk away before I find the courage to reach you. I do not want to lose you again." Do not skip, because the word "again" carries a deeper meaning than you may realize. It does not necessarily speak of a person you clearly remember or a relationship you can name. It speaks of missed timing, interrupted paths, unfinished lessons, and moments when two lives came close to alignment but were not yet prepared to remain together. There have been seasons when you almost met the right person while carrying the wrong expectations. There were times when your future partner stood near a doorway that could have led toward you, but fear persuaded them to choose another direction. There were moments when you both asked heaven for love, yet neither of you was ready to recognize the answer. This is why certain chapters of your past felt strangely incomplete. They were not failures. They were preparations for a reunion your heart has not fully understood. Your future life partner has been feeling a change recently. At first, they thought it was restlessness. They noticed familiar places no longer felt comforting. Conversations that once distracted them began to feel empty. Plans they had made with confidence started losing their meaning. Then, without warning, thoughts of a deeper love began rising within them. Not a perfect fantasy. Not a temporary excitement. They started longing for the kind of bond where silence feels safe, honesty feels natural, and two people do not have to pretend they are stronger than they truly are. They may not know your name yet. They may know you only as a feeling, a prayer, a face that appears at the edge of a dream, or an unfamiliar sense that someone important is drawing closer. But something within them recognizes that their future is no longer meant to be built alone. Stay till the end, because their plea is not coming from weakness. It is coming from awakening. For a long time, this person believed love had to be earned through struggle. They thought they had to chase affection, prove their value, or become someone else to be chosen. They accepted less than they deserved because they feared emptiness more than disappointment. But heaven has been correcting that belief. Quietly, layer by layer, their heart is being taught that true partnership is not a competition. It is not one person constantly reaching while the other remains distant. It is two people choosing to protect the same connection. This realization has changed them, and it is one reason they are terrified of arriving too late. They have begun looking back at the moments when pride prevented honesty. They remember messages they never sent, apologies they delayed, invitations they ignored, and emotions they hid behind laughter. Some nights, they wonder how many beautiful things were lost simply because they waited for certainty before taking one brave step. Now their spirit senses that a rare opportunity is approaching. They cannot explain why. There is no visible announcement, no written guarantee, no perfect map showing how or when you will enter their life. Still, the feeling is becoming stronger. It tells them, do not repeat the old pattern. Do not remain silent when the right soul appears. Do not let fear steal what heaven is preparing. Something huge is waiting for you, but first you must understand why this message reached you at this precise moment. You have also been standing near a turning point. Part of you still believes love may arrive, but another part has grown tired of waiting. You have learned how to function without receiving the tenderness you secretly desire. You have become skilled at appearing calm while questions move through your heart. You may tell yourself that you no longer care, yet there are moments when you imagine what it would feel like to be understood without explaining every wound. You wonder whether someone will ever notice the effort behind your strength. You wonder whether love can arrive without confusion, mixed signals, or emotional exhaustion. And because the answer has taken longer than expected, you have considered closing the door before the right person reaches it. This is why the plea is urgent. Please read this message before it disappears. I do not want to lose you again. Your future partner is not asking you to chase them. They are asking you not to surrender your belief in what is possible. They are asking you not to mistake delay for denial. They are asking you not to build permanent walls from temporary pain. The person meant to walk beside you is still becoming capable of carrying the love they have asked to receive. They are being taught patience where they once reacted quickly. They are learning communication where they once withdrew. They are discovering responsibility where they once blamed circumstances. And while this transformation is not yet complete, something extraordinary has begun. For the first time, they are not only asking heaven to send the right person. They are asking heaven to make them the right person too. Do not skip this next part, because the hidden truth is that your preparation has been happening at the same time. Every disappointment forced you to listen more closely to your intuition. Every confusing connection taught you the difference between attention and devotion. Every season of loneliness showed you what you truly value. You learned that chemistry without peace cannot sustain a future. You learned that words without consistency cannot create trust. You learned that being chosen for a moment is not the same as being cherished through changing seasons. These lessons were painful, but they gave you discernment. Without them, you might have accepted another temporary bond and missed the permanent one moving toward you. There is a reason certain relationships ended before you understood why. There is a reason some people could admire your light but could not remain beside it. Their role was not always to stay. Some were mirrors. Some revealed where you abandoned your own needs. Some exposed how easily you confused potential with commitment. Some entered only long enough to awaken a part of you that had forgotten how deeply it could feel. Yet none of those endings removed what was meant for you. They cleared space. They untangled your path. They prepared your heart to recognize a love that will not require you to shrink, chase, or constantly question your place. Your future life partner has experienced similar lessons, though their story may look completely different. They have stood in rooms filled with people and still felt unseen. They have laughed while carrying private disappointment. They have told others they were fine because they did not know how to describe the emptiness beneath their achievements. There were relationships that looked promising but lacked spiritual depth. There were people who admired what they could receive from them but did not truly understand who they were becoming. Eventually, your future partner began asking a different question. Instead of asking, "Who will choose me?" they began asking, "Who can I build truth with?" That question is leading them toward you. Pause here, because this next revelation is where the message changes. The connection between you is not beginning on the day you meet. It is beginning now, through parallel transformation. When you choose healing instead of bitterness, the path becomes clearer. When they choose honesty instead of avoidance, the distance narrows. When you release a person who cannot meet you with sincerity, you make room for the one who can. When they stop returning to patterns that keep them emotionally unavailable, they move closer to the future where you are waiting. Two lives can be guided toward each other long before their eyes ever meet. That is what is happening beneath the surface. You may soon notice unusual signs of internal change. Old memories may rise without the same emotional power. Places, songs, or names that once triggered sadness may suddenly feel distant. You may feel drawn to rearrange your routines, visit somewhere new, accept an invitation, begin a project, or speak to someone you would normally overlook. Do not force meaning onto every small event, but do not ignore the quiet movement either. Life often changes direction through simple choices that seem ordinary at first. A delayed journey, an unexpected conversation, a change in schedule, or a decision made at the last minute can become the bridge between two destinies. Your future partner is facing one such decision now. This is part of what their spirit is trying to communicate. They are being invited to leave something familiar behind. It may be a mindset, a place, an obligation, a connection, or a version of themselves that no longer matches who they are becoming. They have delayed this choice because the unknown frightens them. Familiar unhappiness can feel safer than unfamiliar possibility. Yet every time they try to remain where they are, something inside them becomes restless again. Their dreams feel smaller there. Their voice becomes quieter. Their hope fades. Deep within, they know that staying unchanged may cost them the life they have been praying for. Stay till the end, because you are connected to this decision more than you know. They may not be choosing between you and another person. The choice is deeper. They are choosing between fear and growth. Between repeating the past and preparing for the future. Between protecting their comfort and following the call that may lead them toward you. Their plea says, "Please do not give up while I am finding the courage to move. Please do not decide that love is impossible while I am learning how to reach it. Please do not close your heart because I am closer than the silence makes it seem." There is tenderness in this plea, but there is also regret. Somewhere in their spirit, they sense they have lost precious connections before by waiting too long. They remember a moment when they could have spoken honestly but chose distance. They remember the pain of watching an opportunity disappear while pretending it did not matter. That memory has become a warning. They do not want their future with you to become another story of almost. They do not want to look back one day and realize they felt the call but refused to answer it. This time, they are asking for courage before the moment arrives. And you, my child, are also being asked for courage. Not the courage to pursue someone unknown, but the courage to remain open without abandoning your wisdom. Openness does not mean accepting confusion. Hope does not mean ignoring red flags. Faith does not mean forcing a connection to fit a prophecy. The love being prepared for you will not require you to betray your peace. It will invite honesty, patience, and mutual effort. You will still need discernment. You will still need boundaries. But you must not let old pain convince you that every new beginning will end the same way. Something huge is waiting for you in the distinction between caution and closure. Caution says, I will move slowly and observe. Closure says, nothing good can reach me. Caution protects wisdom. Closure protects wounds. Heaven is not asking you to become careless. It is asking you to notice where protection has become isolation. There may be a part of your heart that rejects possibilities before they have the chance to become real. You may dismiss kindness because you expect inconsistency. You may doubt sincerity because you have seen promises broken. You may withdraw at the first sign of vulnerability because vulnerability once came with pain. Yet the future cannot enter through a door you have permanently sealed. Your future partner will not arrive without imperfections. They will have fears, habits, and lessons still unfolding. But there will be a difference in how they respond. They will not treat growth as an insult. They will not punish you for expressing your needs. They will not make you compete for clarity. When challenges arise, they will not always respond perfectly, but they will return to the conversation. They will care about repair. They will value the bond more than the temporary satisfaction of winning an argument. This is one reason their current transformation matters so much. Heaven is teaching them that love is not proved by intensity alone. It is proved by consistency after the intensity becomes quiet. Do not skip, because the next detail may explain why your heart has felt unusually sensitive lately. You may have experienced sudden waves of longing with no clear source. At unexpected moments, you may imagine a conversation with someone you have not met. You may feel as though a chapter is ending even when nothing visible has changed. This does not mean you should build a fantasy. It means your inner life may be responding to movement before your outer life catches up. Sometimes the soul recognizes transition before the mind receives evidence. Your future partner has felt it too. They have imagined telling someone the truth about their past without being judged. They have pictured coming home after a difficult day and feeling safe enough to lower their guard. They have wondered what it would be like to share simple mornings, quiet meals, ordinary errands, and long conversations with a person who feels like peace. They are no longer fascinated only by dramatic romance. They are longing for sacred ordinary life. That shift is important, because lasting love is built in moments the world rarely applauds. They do not want to lose you to hopelessness. They do not want you to become so accustomed to emotional distance that you fail to recognize warmth. They do not want you to settle for someone who keeps you guessing simply because waiting feels uncomfortable. Their message is not asking you to accept less. It is asking you to remain available for more. There is a difference. A moment is coming when your past and future will quietly stand beside each other. One path will feel familiar because it repeats what you already know. The other will feel unfamiliar because it asks you to trust a healthier pattern. The old path may arrive through someone who offers excitement without stability. The new path may begin more gently. It may not create immediate chaos or overwhelming uncertainty. It may feel calm enough that part of you questions whether it is real. Be careful not to confuse anxiety with passion. The love meant for your future may first be recognized by the peace it brings. Stay till the end, because your future partner is also learning this lesson. They once believed that intense uncertainty meant deep connection. They mistook emotional unpredictability for destiny. They were drawn to people they had to convince, rescue, or understand from a distance. But the exhaustion finally revealed the truth: love should awaken the heart without destroying its peace. This realization is leading them away from old attraction patterns and toward the kind of person you have become. There is another hidden layer. Someone from their past may soon attempt to regain access to their life. Not because the old connection has suddenly become right, but because change often attracts the return of what once delayed it. Your future partner will be tested. They may receive a message, hear an apology, or encounter a familiar promise. For a moment, nostalgia may make the past appear more beautiful than it truly was. This is the decision I told you about. They will have to choose whether to return to what is known or continue toward what is aligned. Their spirit is pleading with you because they fear making the wrong choice before meeting you. They do not want one weak moment to create another long delay. They do not want loneliness to pull them backward. They want to remain strong, but they are human. They have memories. They have unanswered questions. They have a heart that sometimes confuses familiarity with safety. Heaven is bringing clarity, but the choice will still be theirs. And here is why this message cannot be ignored: you may face a similar test at nearly the same time. A past connection, old habit, or familiar emotional pattern may call your attention again. It may appear precisely when you are beginning to move forward. You may be tempted to revisit what once left you uncertain simply because it is easier than waiting for something unknown. But the return of the past is not always a sign to reopen the door. Sometimes it is proof that you are finally strong enough to close it with peace. Do not act from fear. Do not rush. Do not force an ending or manufacture a beginning. Simply observe what produces clarity and what creates confusion. Notice who respects your boundaries and who only values your availability. Notice who brings consistent effort and who appears only when they fear losing access. The future being prepared for you requires discernment from both sides. Your life partner's plea is growing louder now: please hold on a little longer. Please do not choose temporary attention because you are tired of waiting. Please do not believe the silence means I am not coming. I am learning how to recognize you. I am releasing what once kept me unavailable. I am becoming brave enough to choose a love that asks me to be fully present. I do not want to lose you again. Something extraordinary is about to be revealed, but it cannot be understood until you know what happened in their most recent dream. They woke before sunrise with their heart racing, not from fear, but from recognition. In the dream, they were standing in a place they had never seen, holding a folded message they could not open. Across the distance stood a figure whose face remained hidden by light. They tried to move closer, but every step caused the message in their hands to fade. Then a voice spoke one sentence that left them shaken long after waking. They did not tell anyone about it. They carried the sentence through the entire day, wondering why it felt more real than an ordinary dream. They tried to distract themselves, but the words continued returning. By evening, they had made a decision connected to the path that may lead them toward you. But before I reveal the sentence they heard, you must understand this: the dream did not warn them that they would lose you because of distance. It revealed that they could lose you because of one final attachment they have not yet released. And tonight, that attachment has suddenly returned with an offer they never expected.